standoff has ended peacefully in DeKalb County with an 18-year-old murder suspect in custody. The tense moments unfolded on River Ridge Court today. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us now with the latest on the suspect's capture. She's live with the details. Hi, Angelique.
Good afternoon, Christine. A lot of people in this neighborhood very pleased on the way that this SWAT situation finally ended after 5 long hours. Now take a look at the house where it all happened here. We've just gotten some new information. We are in the Riverwalk Ridge subdivision. We now know that deputies found that 18-year-old suspect hiding in the attic with a gun. It was the DeKalb County Fugitive Squad that attempted to serve the murder warrant on 18-year-old Chantrez Giles here at this house on River Ridge Court Thursday. The sheriff's office tells me when they arrived, there were family members inside the home, but they were evacuated safely. For 5 long hours, the 18-year-old suspect refused to come out. We talked to his grandparents, who were obviously distraught and had been working with the negotiations.
I'm not talking to y'all.
How's he doing? Have you been able to help?
We don't know. We've talked to him, but he won't come out.
So are you concerned right now?
Of course.
What's your relationship, sir?
I'm his girlfriend.
Several neighbors talked with us off camera about the teen terrorizing the neighborhood, allegedly stealing guns and breaking into cars. One neighbor says he recalled a petition that was circulating to have the teen removed from the neighborhood.
We had a petition put out here for him not to come in the neighborhood.
So you said he actually broke in your mother's home?
Yes, stealing guns. That's what he does, steal guns. He's a threat.
While a family friend said the 18-year-old lost his way after his mother was killed in a traffic accident 2 years ago.
I'm saying he was a good kid up until the point of him losing his mother. That changed his life. That'll change anybody's life.
Now, suspect Giles was wanted for the April 28th double shooting on Panthersville Road, where a 17-year-old died. Her name was Tashawn Foster, and there was also a second person who survived that shooting. We are live in DeKalb County. Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
Angelique, thank you so much.
Good morning. Today is Friday, July 14th. It's a beautiful Friday morning. The year's 2023. I'm sitting outside on my deck listening to the birds chirp. That beautiful sound of birds chirping out here in Smoke Rise, Georgia. I bought this house in March of 2022. Another friend of mine was looking at a home, a new construction in South Fulton County. I drove down there and took a look at him at this house. And as I drove around the neighborhood, I didn't like what I was seeing. For a subdivision that was fairly new, I did not like certain things I saw in the neighborhood. The yards not being maintained. These people had just moved into these homes. The cars were just older, raggedy cars, a bunch of hoopties. Just some things I didn't like about the neighborhood. And I said, I don't think you need to buy this house. I said, you need to find you another neighborhood. And these houses were not cheap. They were about $500,000 on that side of town. And I said, okay, there's a lot of money for these houses. And look at these homes that these people are living in here. These people just moved into these houses. And anyway, he accused me of being critical. I said, no, you need to find you a different neighborhood to move into. He had looked at, I said, there were some homes he looked at in Mapleton. I liked that area much better. A little bit more diverse. It was in DeKalb County. I told him to go with the house in Mapleton. He didn't. I don't know what his reasoning was that he liked the area down in South Fulton County. But what he did tell me is he always wanted to live in an all-black neighborhood. And this kind of stood out in my head because I'm thinking, well, I've lived in all-black neighborhoods. And I don't want to live in no more all-black neighborhoods. I don't give unless these are wealthy, upscale, well-to-do, multi-million-dollar houses, and your neighbors are Shaquille O'Neal, Beyonce, Jay-Z, those types of neighbors. That's even run-of-the-mill everyday niggas. No, I don't want to be bothered with y'all. That's right, I said y'all. I don't want to be bothered with y'all. So, when I look for homes, I try to find neighborhoods that are diverse. Diversity. No teenagers. I drive around and look at the houses that they maintain in these homes. How many children are running around here? Where I live at, there are no kids over here. I know none. No teenagers running down the street. No basketball court up the street. None of that shit. This is a diverse neighborhood. There's mainly a bunch of old white folks out here. Mainly because the area is going through gentrification. But not the type of gentrification that you all think of. No, these are older white people who are, as they die, younger families are buying these homes and renovating and moving into them. But predominantly, mostly, from what I've seen, younger white families buying these houses and spending a lot of money renovating these houses. I mean, they're gutting these bad boys, gutting them, and spending some money out here. They have children. I see them walking. The neighborhood is going through gentrification, starting to reapprove, starting to come back to life. But in this particular subdivision down there, I warned him not to buy the house. I told him to buy the house in Mapleton. Better builder. They had a homeowners association in Mapleton. It was a mandatory, but it was something that he could be a part of. Where the subdivision he's at now, there is no homeowners association. Not too soon after he moved into that house, he bought the house, he moved into the home. Things started to happen at the house next door. And things are continuing to happen now. There's been shot up on several occasions. Bullets flying through the air. Neighbors concerned. Police called out. I don't necessarily know if it was shootouts or I don't know what was going on, but I don't want to live in a house or next to someone where I'm constantly concerned about them having... The house has been shot up on numerous occasions. This news article stood out to me because they went after this 18-year-old kid who, if you heard the report, he had been terrorizing the neighborhood that he lived in, breaking into people's houses, stealing guns, doing all kinds of stuff. And the neighbors had even created a little petition. We gonna vote him out the neighborhood. And somebody should have shot that nigga dead in that neighborhood, but they should have did. Now that he's being arrested and charged with murder, maybe he will be gone for quite some time. How long is murder in Georgia? 10 years, 11, and he'll be back. Obviously, he has some family members there, whether his they didn't say whose home it was that he was hiding in the attic in that house. But the fact that he was in that neighborhood and the neighbors knew who he was and he had been causing havoc in that neighborhood, y'all, I can't do the neighborhoods no more. I cannot live in neighborhoods where you got SWAT teams showing up to snatch young teenagers out of a fucking house at 18 years of age. And just see the picture of that 18-year-old kid. When I hear people say when I hear other black people say I don't live in a black neighborhood, I don't live around black people, they always live to regret those words. So they get in there, and I don't know what kind of fantasy world they live in about our community. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. I don't want to live around a bunch of ignorant ass niggas. I do not. Now, if you want an upscale black neighborhood with educated black folks who taking care of their homes and they ain't got a bunch of monster ass children terrorizing the neighborhoods, you gotta be honest with you, there are some members of my family I don't want to live next door to. Down the state, I don't even live in the same block with their ass. I'm like, oh no, I don't live next to you niggas. But I do like it out here around there. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's clean. There's no riffraff running down the streets. There's, you know, I once had that fantasy of wanting to live in a black neighborhood. I remember I moved out to Lithonia. It was a brand new subdivision. And I built this house out there, and it was all black. I was all excited about it. And then I quickly woke up. I stayed in the house 1 year before I ran my ass up out of there. Because I said, okay, this isn't going to work. It's not going to work. I saw that neighborhood was going, and I got the hell up out of there. You all, we can't keep fooling ourselves about our community. I don't want to live in all-black neighborhoods, especially in all-black neighborhoods where they are not educated, upscale, maintaining their homes. There are some nice neighborhoods in Atlanta. I've seen a few. One of them that comes to mind is a neighborhood called Thurgood Estates. It's beautiful. I looked at a house over there. In fact, I looked at a house So we bought this house. I wanted to live in Thurgood Estates. I've always wanted to live over there. It's an upscale black community in South DeKalb County. It is beautiful, well maintained. Everybody has pools. It's gorgeous over there. A little bit further out. To be honest with you, when I was buying this house, I wanted to look at Miami. When I got back from Miami, couldn't get what I wanted. I was looking at lakefront homes a little bit further out before we found this house. I was looking at houses an hour outside of Atlanta, lakefront homes. I wasn't thinking about anything in DeKalb County before this house came along. I wish I had stuck to that dream and find me a lakefront. I looked at a house, it was beautiful. Same price as this house, except it was a brand new house. Not as large, but it came with a boat dock. It had, I forget what lake it was on, but it was gorgeous. It had its own little private beach. And this is in Georgia. It had its own beach, had a lake, but it came with jet skis. It had an outdoor kitchen area. It was private. It was beautiful. I think it was about an hour and a half outside of, I can't remember what lake that was on. And forget the area was. Dang, I can't think of the name of that area. I'd have to go back and look through my emails and find that house. It was gorgeous. But I look at a lot of houses like that. They were a little bit further outside of the city, about an hour, hour and a half to 2 hours outside of the city, about an hour and a half, somewhere like that, up I-20. And clean, peaceful, quiet neighborhoods out in the country, on the lake. You can go fishing, do stuff like that. You don't have to worry about niggas shooting up the house next door. But y'all gonna learn. Just because somebody's black and looks like you don't necessarily mean you want them as your neighbor. You got to be more selective. Now, here's the crazy part. My friend who bought that house, he always goes over to Mapleton and looks at that subdivision that I told him to buy. He said, man, I should have bought that house. I said, I told you. I know real estate very well. Mapleton was more upscale. And it was in Cobb County versus Fulton County. And in Cobb County, don't play out there. They will lock your fucking ass up. Cobb County is not going to let some teenager terrorize the neighborhoods over there. Fulton County ain't got time for it. They just don't have the time. They did bring the SWAT team out there to get his ass out of there dead yesterday. Yeah, and he's charged with murder, so prayerfully he won't be back over there harassing those people in that neighborhood. I love how the news reporter went up to the family and said, I don't want to talk to you. Well, why don't you want to talk to the reporter? You got an ignorant ass son who's running around here terrorizing the neighborhood. Well, they said his mom was deceased, so she wasn't the mom. I couldn't imagine living in an environment like that, where you got to come home and be careful that somebody ain't even broke into your house, stole your shit. Luckily, I've never had a situation where my home or any of my homes have been broken into since I've lived here in Georgia. Never had a problem with that. Or my cars or anything. I've not had that issue. However, I looked at that report and it kind of made it sad because in that area where that house was in that news report, the homes look well maintained and look clean. You got black folks who would probably try their best to survive over there. Own a home, and moved in their subdivision, take care of the house. My friend who has his house, he's done a lot of stuff to his house. But now he's concerned. What should he stay? Should he move? Should he sell? He's only been there as long as I've been in this house. I said, well, you could sell it. You better sell it now before the neighborhood can heads down into the abyss where it's headed at. And I said, you might be upside down in that house. You need to get an appraiser over there and get a real estate agent over there and see what you can sell a house for and get the fuck up out of there. You should have never bought that house. You were warned to avoid the niggas. Everybody got to find out. Everybody got to deal with they had a black mama. I love black people. Until the black people bust shoot you in your fucking head. Then you realize, I don't like black folks no more. You just hate black people. No, I don't hate black folks. I can't stand and hate you niggas, though. I done seen enough niggas to know niggas when I see them. And I can ride through a neighborhood and pretty much tell where niggas is living at. And I say, oh, no, this ain't gonna work. And I rode through the neighborhood with him, and I warned him. I said, look around you. Look where your neighbors, look at how you get their neighbors to take care of their homes. These people barely got through the front door of these houses with FHA loans. Do you not understand? See, he didn't understand real estate, but I did. I told him to go with something that was a little bit more upscale. But anyway, he'll figure it out. But over here where I live at is quiet. There's no riffraff running around. Yeah, I don't even lock my car doors out here in the driveway. For what? I just don't. And I get in the car, close, go inside the house. I need something, I go in there, open the door. Yeah, I don't like these cars out here. They just sit down the driveway. You know, it just makes you wonder, you know. Y'all better start making decisions that have an impact on your family. And I don't want to live someplace where there's an 18-year-old kid terrorizing the entire neighborhood. And they got to get a petition. We gonna vote him out of the neighborhood. We're going to get a petition passed around. Like that would have kept that nigga from coming back and forth and then still terrorizing. Somebody should have got out there and beat the shit out of his ass. And you know, sometimes you got to go in into these neighborhoods where these niggas is at and put a bullet in their fucking head and they find his ass under one of them dead under one of the trees over there, and he'll say, okay, well, he gone now, he dead. It's funny because my mother, a few years back, this house she was living out there in a house my sister lived in, and they actually, I was watching the news one night and somebody was found shot and killed in the front yard of my sister's house. And I was like, okay. It makes you wonder. But I don't wonder too long. Yeah. You better be very careful in the neighborhoods you choose to live in. Especially buying a house. Sometimes it's not so easy to get out of the houses. If you're upside down and you're trying to sell a house for, you owe more than a house than what it's worth because the neighborhood has gone down because the niggas ain't maintaining them houses. Or they have a situation where there is, I can imagine that when my buddy goes to sell that house and it is disclosed or somehow at least people find out that there are massive shootouts going on next door, he's not going to get rid of that house. He will be lucky to rent that house. And if he does rent that house out, tenants are not going to stay in that house with shootouts going on next door. He's in a bad situation with that house. Who's going to live in the house? Now, he's living there because he owns the house, so he don't have much of a choice right now. Well, he got some choices he can make. But if he rents that house out, he better find some tenants who are willing to deal with that nonsense going on next door with that house. Because the minute things start to happen like that, that man will run up out of there. He's going to run. It's just a matter of time. The minute the tenant, if he rents that house, I've told this too. You rent that house out, and that shit continues to happen next door. They're gonna leave. They're gonna move. You're gonna be going through a lot of tenants over there. The best scenario is for him to sell that house now. Don't wait. Sell it. Good luck with that one now. But God, these are my thoughts and opinions. If he had listened to me about that house in Mableton, I even looked at some houses in Mableton, which I brought over Mableton truthfully because it was close to the gym I wanted to go to. Mableton is not that bad to me. You know, it's closer to the. I like Mableton, but I saw some homes that I actually liked in Mableton. But anyway, these are just my thoughts and opinions, and I just wanted to share with you all that news article that I thought was very interesting about a neighborhood being terrorized by this 18-year-old kid. They try to pass a petition around it, but ban him from the neighborhood. Good luck with that. Luckily, he's now been charged with murder, so he will be drugged away from that neighborhood. One bad person out, but I'm sure there are many other than him running around in these black neighborhoods. Y'all, good luck with y'all who want to be in them black neighborhoods. Good luck, because you're going to fucking need it. Anyway, today is Friday, July 14th, the year is 2023. Yeah, I'm going to continue. It's a beautiful day out here. Doesn't look like it's going to rain today. I sure wish, I feel like I'm sitting at the beach. Wish I was sitting on the beach someplace. I need a vacation. Fuck up that Atlanta. I hate this damn place. Anyway, today is Friday, July 14th, the year 2023. I'm out and enjoy this beautiful Friday. I look forward to reading y'all's thoughts and comments.